So everyone, welcome back to our series, Talking Hair Loss. So we've got 12 people, 12 haircuts, and 12 incredible chats about hair loss. Honest conversations in the barber chair about hair loss, thinning and receding, with some advice from me along the way. With new episodes coming every 2 weeks. This is Talking Hair Loss. This series is made possible by our sponsor, Manual. All right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio and welcome back to our Talking Hair Loss series with Manual. Today we've got James and he is the last client of our first series of Talking Hair Loss. How you doing, man?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, mate.
Good.
Talk to me about your hair loss. What's going on?
Okay, so I used to have really thick hair when I was maybe like 17, 18.
Okay.
And then over the years, it's just gradually got thinner and thinner.
Okay.
And I know that it's definitely got thinner because when I wash it in the shower, honestly, my whole hand is basically covered in hair.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of wanting to keep this fringe. I used to have a really nice messy fringe that I liked a lot, but obviously over time, you know, it's just got a bit more difficult to create that same effect. So what I'm looking for from you is just how to keep it not looking too thin, so kind of keeping it looking thick and then keeping it messy at the same time.
Okay.
And also my hair's very straight as well, so I don't want it to be too straight. And then I normally just get a skin fade on the back and sides, and I'm still happy with that.
Okay.
So it's mainly the top that I'm looking for a
Okay.
bit of assistance with.
Yeah, okay. I mean, when I saw you when you walked in, I was hoping you'd say you want to keep a fringe because I could see a really nice, I could probably thicken your fringe up a lot for you. Would you be okay with having your fringe cut shorter though? Because if you want
short?
Like in my head, what I can see is, you see from your temple here, is if we were to cut it to, because we've got to think about this, we've got to get this looking thick, right?
Yeah.
So if you look where it starts getting thinner, it's about here.
Yeah.
So I reckon if I was to cut your fringe in and layer it all in and make it really choppy and really messy, the top would fall into the front and it would look really full.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm trusting you.
Yeah,
so
I think if we use this temple here as a guide and bring it right across, I reckon I could make that look just more like a sort of cropped, short, textured fringe. That's what I think we could get away with.
Let's go for it. Yeah, I like the idea of like a bit choppy as well, because obviously I don't want it too super straight like a barcode.
No, definitely not. It's definitely not what was in my mind. But the only thing that threw me off a little bit was when you said you've got straight hair, but you don't want it too straight.
Yeah.
So
what I mean by that, I just want it a bit messy, really. So
okay, so not like pulled forward.
I don't want like a perm or anything.
I was going to say, I haven't done one of them for about 20 years.
I actually did have a perm last year, but it didn't look good at all. So that's why I'm staying away from that.
Okay, it's probably dried your hair out a little bit though as well, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously they damage your hair, right? So they look great, but you've got to, make sure you get it kind of looked after. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think you've got enough here that I can do what is in my mind.
Okay.
Which is like a short cropped kind of textured fringe with loads of texture through the back. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Skin fade works really well as well, because this will really frame the haircut doing the skin fade. It'll really frame it out.
Cool.
I think we just need to keep it a little bit more into the back. It's a little bit short up here. Yeah. All right, just a touch. Just these little bits here are a bit short, but they'll be okay. I think we'll be all right with that. But I mean, I feel like we've been onto a winner from when you walked in. To be fair, and the fact that you're letting me do it is even better.
I'm trusting you. The reins are
trust me, man. Trust me. You won't be the first. I mean, that was probably the easiest consultation we've had all day. It doesn't always have to take ages. We hit on the same page. I was just hoping for you to say you wanted a fringe. Because if you're going to ask for anything else, that's when it starts getting really tricky. But because you've already wearing it forwards, you're already used to a fringe, which is great. And I think now we can just really, really emphasise this and bring out the best bits about it, not the weaker bits.
That's good to hear. Because I was kind of thinking about other hairstyles for my hair, but I just don't think they would suit me as much. Like say I got even like a quiff or like even shorter or buzz cut or anything, I don't think they would suit me that much.
Yeah, I mean, if we lift up your hairline, right? So there's your hairline. You've not got a high hairline. You've just got finer hair. That's the thing. It's just thinning through the front, but the hairline's still there. Okay. This is really, I think, reversible if you were to look at getting on some sort of medication. Yeah. Okay. Genuinely do. Because your hairline's still there. Look. Yeah. You see, it's weakened up, but it's still you've got all that there. Yeah. Okay. That could be stopped and reversed. Yeah. At this stage, I'd be surprised.
Is it like the minoxidil or those?
Minoxidil and finasteride, yeah. You, if you jumped on it now, I can see the comments already. If you look at that, guys, if he jumped on that right now, if James jumped on that right now, that's reversible, I think. Because your hairline's still there, look. You can draw your hairline.
Do you know how long I need to use the products for? Is it
varies? It varies. Okay. It depends on how well it takes to it.
Yeah.
I think you start seeing results after about 9 months.
Oh, okay.
But you could stop it at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stop it from getting any worse.
Oh, that's really useful to know.
You might have caught it perfectly in time. Genuinely.
Okay, cool.
I reckon you could be one of their success stories. Genuinely.
Hopefully.
Yeah. When they've got a lot, and I think you could be up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, let's get it started, mate.
Yeah. Sure.
Sweet.
Cool. That's really useful to know. Really useful to know.
So before we get into it, we just want to say a massive thank you to the sponsor of this series, Manual. Our first video with Manual worked out so well, and the partnership was amazing, so we wanted to bring more videos to you. So if you don't know, Manual is a British company dedicated to becoming the destination for men's health. Manual offer tailored and medically approved treatments for a variety of issues specific to men's health. And obviously it's their hair loss treatments we're talking about today. Best thing about it, it's all online. You visit the website, you answer a questionnaire about your medical history and receive a treatment recommendation. Your information goes to a specialist doctor on the platform, and from there you're consulted on a specific treatment plan for your case. You receive the products at home on a recurring basis and with a medical follow-up throughout. Manual were kind enough to send us some of their products, and we've had their hair loss treatments out on the shelf at our Regal Jumping Studio ever since. So let's go over here and see what they got. So guys, this is the Power Shampoo. This is an everyday shampoo. Revitalizes your hair. It's got a sense of stimulation in there as well, so you can really feel it going to work on the hair and the scalp as well. We've got the 5% minoxidil as well. We've also got the finasteride tablets as well, and the hair vitamins, which I am currently using as well, and they are fantastic. And Manual have also been kind enough to offer you a discount to celebrate this series on the channel. The code's on the screen now, but it's also in the description if you miss it. And the link to follow is also in the description below. So click that to find out more about Manual and their hair loss treatments. And a massive thank you again to Manual for bringing this series to the channel. So carry on watching this, because you get some great advice and you'll also see some really good finished looks for anyone with any sort of hair loss problems. But thanks again, Manual. Just shampooed and conditioned James's hair. Now this is where we start to put in the shape, okay? So main focus is thickening up that fringe. That is all my major concern. Fade, yeah, we can do a fade. Texture, easy. The fringe is the thing we need to focus on. So this is where all my attention has got to go to now. So I'm separating the top into a T section. It's called a T section because it looks like the letter T from above. I'll show you in a second. And then you pull it right down, straight down the middle, okay? Like that. Now what we do is we split the head into 2 halves, okay? Just makes it a lot easier to section, okay? Just like that. So in the middle. There we go. So if you look from above, if you just lower your head down, James, if you don't mind, it looks like the letter T, see? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut the fringe into the strongest point at the front here, okay? So I'm gonna work around the hairline, and I'm gonna pull this down. I'm gonna clip this back on that same point, pull it around and bring it down. Like so. Now I'm going to cut it to a height that is going to fill it up, okay? Now I want to come in from the sort of temple area. That's where I kind of want to come in from. Sort of about here, because I think then we can layer it in nicely. And I can also arch the hairline into the front. So that will add a more of effect. It will draw the attention away from it all. It just will make it a bit more seamless. So if you turn your head to the side slightly, the camera can see. There is where I'm going to cut the temple in, here. Maybe a bit higher. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start up here. I'm going to cut it straight across. Now don't worry, you said before you don't want a barcode fringe up an apple, okay? This is just all about cutting in the shape, okay? So use my fingers, push that down slightly, only a little bit of tension. I bring that down like that. Now because it's a little bit thinner, it's not that wet, right? It's a little bit drier. So I can let that just kink up a little touch, okay? Just like that. A little bit of pressure just to place it against the forehead. And put that in. Then we work either side now to shape it up. And just start putting that base in for the choppiness. Just like that. So we're basically layering from the top down to the front. And this is what fills in the front, okay? It's all the bits from this back bit that fill in the front gap, okay? And that's what creates that nice fullness to the fringe. How did you first find out that you sort of started losing your hair then? What was it? What was there like a moment where you thought, like a photograph where you thought, God, what's going on here? Like, or?
So for me, it's mainly in pictures. So kind of every month when I saw pictures of myself, I could see through my fringe a bit more each time. And then at the same time, when I was having a shower and washing my hair, every time I kind of looked at my hands, after washing my hair, my hands were just coated in more and more hair each time. And then that kind of just grew and grew. And then now, there's quite a bit that comes out if I'm washing my hair. So obviously it's not ideal, but I guess just unlucky genetics.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes that can be it. Yeah.
Because I used to have such a thick head of hair when I was younger. When I went to the barbers, I remember they used to say, this is one of the thickest head of hair I've ever seen.
Really? Wow.
It's just, I got unlucky with genetics, I guess.
Yeah. It's always, it must have been a bit of a shock though as well. You know what I mean? Like when you started seeing that all the time.
Definitely, yeah. And as I'm obviously still quite young, it was...
How old are you now, Jim?
So I'm 22 now, almost 23.
Okay.
And I'd say probably when I was about 19, just turning 20, that's when I started noticing it.
Right.
So probably about, 2 years now.
Yeah.
But it's gradually got worse and worse. Okay. And I did try and have a perm to see if that would make a difference in the aspect, kind of like I wanted to cover it up.
Yeah, of course.
But I think it made it worse, to be honest.
Do you?
Yeah, because
you may have dried it out a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
It could have, yeah. How did it make you feel, that sort of like realization that your hair was sort of like getting thinner? What did it feel?
Yeah, I think at the start I was just like so obsessed with it, like always kind of looking at it in the mirror under every lighting, kind of like inspecting it and then seeing if there was any way to kind of get rid of it, get around it.
Then like obsessed about it.
Yeah, so I got really obsessed about it. Then after that phase, I was like, oh, what different hairstyles can I get? So I was thinking, what if I shave off all my hair? What if I have a really drastic difference in a new haircut or something like that? And then the stage I'm at now, which is just like, kind of, I'm a bit more okay with it, but I still obviously want to improve it. But I would say I'm less obsessed than at the start. I think at the start it was just more really shocking.
Yeah, of course.
And when it just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Did anyone make any comments on it at all? Was it just you noticing it, or did you get a comment from a friend or a family member or something who kind of solidified your thoughts of, oh God, it is going a bit?
Yeah, no, people definitely noticed. They wouldn't bring it up really, but when I asked them, do you see a difference? They would definitely agree with me.
Right.
And they definitely say, yeah, it looks quite different, especially if you do a comparison. So say you look at
it's picture of me, that's always social media, mate.
3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're at the stage of being open to suggestion.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Great, because obviously when I saw you walk in and I thought the haircut for you, and then you kind of sat down and said, have a fringe and stuff. I was like, oh, thank God for that, because it makes it a lot more. Yeah. It's a better conversation because we know where we're at. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But no, I think you've really bold to come on, mate. I appreciate you coming on and telling your story. Right?
Really appreciate you having me.
Oh, of course, man, of course. So is there anyone in your family? Does it run in your family at all?
Yeah, so it's my dad's side. Oh. So he started losing hair fairly early. He doesn't remember what age exactly, but in his wedding pictures, he didn't have that much hair. So obviously it was probably similar age to me.
Right, okay,
and then it's just carried across really, unfortunately.
Any siblings?
No, so I'm an only child, so
okay.
I don't have any siblings. But my cousins have super thick heads of hair.
Do they?
So I guess they got lucky there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, it can happen at any point. You know, that's the thing. It can happen at any single point. You just don't know. I know people who've been clients of mine who have ridiculously thick heads of hair.
Yeah.
And then, a couple of years later, we're looking at hairstyles to thicken it up a little bit. You know what I mean? So it can happen at any point. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you've got thicker hair than me, so you're doing well.
I honestly, I feel a bit of a fraud doing this, to be honest. I do, but we all. Yeah, but the thing is though, like we all go through stages of like shedding and things like that. Like when I grew my hair out. Like I just run my hands through my hair and there'd be hair on it. And the thing is as well, what I felt like my crown. I think if I'm going to go anywhere, it's going to be my crown, without a doubt, because that feels thinner to me. You know, especially when it gets longer.
Yeah.
I was always a little bit paranoid about that. So even though I haven't experienced hair loss per se, the paranoia of me just feeling like the back, like my crown was going, was enough to make me feel a bit rubbish. So I can only imagine what that must feel like when you see it happening. Do you know what I mean? So I understand. I can't relate, but I can empathise. You know what I mean? But we're just cutting in the shape now. So the top shape is done, right?
It's weird because although I'm looking at myself, I can't actually see myself because I don't have my glasses on.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
It's gonna be a big reveal at the end.
It is, mate. It is.
Do you prefer yourself with long hair or short hair? Because I know you used to have the really long hair for a bit.
Do I prefer myself with long hair or short hair? Short. Yeah. Long was fun, but it was just a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And I'm not really that kind of person. I'm quite a low maintenance kind of guy.
Yeah, and you proved that you still got the genetics to do it.
Yeah,
Good hair
well,
genetics.
that was, do you know, again, it was off the, I kind of fell in with this a little bit. I was like, you know, we're talking about doing a hair loss series and stuff, and I was like, you know, I might lose mine. I could wake up tomorrow, it could be on the pillow. You just don't know. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go while I can.
Yeah. I think this hairstyle looks really nice though on you.
Do you reckon?
It's really good, yeah.
Thanks, man. I'll take that. So, back and sides now. Going down to skin. So I'm going to start, I'll put the base in there with a horizontal section. And I'm working the two up to that. But we obviously want to keep some crown in play here, right? So dropping it down a touch at the crown. So not everything's focused fully on the front. So we're building up head shape as well to the back. And then working around into the fade. So the fade itself, I'll probably do this like a sort of low to medium height. And then just stretch the blend out so we can kind of keep that fringe falling into the temple. That'll be the plan. So everything falls over nicely into there. So tell me, did it affect your confidence when you started losing your hair?
A little bit, yeah. Just because I had such thick hair before. And it's mainly in the pictures where I can see through it and then seeing the change as well. Yeah. I think that's another thing which was kind of a big thing which definitely would knock my confidence, yeah. But, you know, I think the good thing is that over time, I guess you do start to get used to it a bit. Yeah. I think it really is that initial kind of when you start seeing it, and especially in the shower, when you start seeing a lot of hair coming out, then you're really thinking, uh-oh, like, it's not looking good.
Well, I think you can put it down to things like on a photo, if you can say, oh, it was bad lighting. It was, oh no, it was that, no, that wasn't like how it was. It didn't look like that in real life, you know. But then when you start seeing it, like actually physically in your hands, that's when I can imagine you're a bit like, oh God,
Because at the start, you know, I was seeing it in the pictures and I was thinking, oh, you know, it's not too bad. But then I would look in the mirror and the light would pierce from the top and it would pierce through it, and then I'd see scalp, and then that's when it was starting to be kind of a wake-up call. Like this is happening essentially. Yeah.
So what hairstyles did you end up going for then? So obviously, what was your hair like before you started noticing?
Yeah, so I used to have a side swept fringe, kind of like the old Justin Bieber haircut, I guess you could say. Yeah. So I had that, and then in lockdown, I actually buzzed my hair off completely.
Oh, wow, nice.
But I had thick hair, so it regrew pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really an issue. But most people just said I looked like a monk when my hair was buzzed. So yeah, I decided to not go back to that again. And yeah, so then after that, I just had like kind of similar to what I had now, but it was a lot thicker. So it was like just a messy fringe. But then over time, it just got thinner and thinner, and then here we are, really. Okay. So I wouldn't say I've had too much change over the years. When I was really, really young, I had all sorts of, you know, crazy quips. That was just, you know, back in the day. It's good that you still got that little bit of experimental edge though, like where you, like, you know what, just go for it, you kind of thing, you know? Definitely, yeah. Because I always want to try new things, you know, I don't want to be afraid to try something because it might look good, but it might not. So yeah, of course, I think it's better to try something than just be worried about failing with it. Definitely. You can't let your hair loss dictate what style you have. We can help to make things look better, but if you can, I feel like a lot of people do sort of focus solely on just trying to find a haircut that suits their particular bit of thinning more than what suits the face shape, all this sort of stuff, you know, as well. Which I get it. It's obviously, it can start to become a bit like dictate your life a little bit though as well, you know. And I think if you can just still have that kind of like, you know, I'm just gonna be quite chilled about it still, you know what I mean? I think that will help you kind of continue, you know what I mean? Definitely.
So what made you not look into anything sort of like any interventions then?
That's a good question. So I have definitely considered them, but I think the main thing for me is I don't really know what the results will be.
Yeah.
So it's good that you mentioned what you did at the start, because I've just been a bit worried, what if it either makes it worse, or I don't know how long I need to use it for. So I guess it just comes down to kind of a lack of information, really.
Yeah.
But I think it would definitely be good to look into it, especially now that I've got kind of this info from you, which is really useful.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be good for you. I think you'd really benefit from it,
So I guess you have to use it, what is it, every day or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, it's an everyday thing, of course, yeah. But obviously it depends how much it bothers you, I know a lot of guys take protein shakes every day, a lot of guys take other types of medicine that they have to take every day. I mean, if this is something that's going to make you keep your hair and build your confidence and keep it, because the thing is, it's not just I think a lot of the time when I've spoken to people on this channel and obviously in real life as well, because obviously I get a lot of people talking about hair loss. A lot of the time people say it's not even just about my hair, it's about the confidence it's giving me back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't feel embarrassed like they did. They don't feel like they're the butt of the joke. You know what I mean? Like people can be horrible sometimes, man. Like, you know what I mean? We always have made that joke about, kids in the playground can be quite nasty, but guys in a pub can be just the same. You know what I mean? And some people do end up as the butt of the joke. You know what I mean, about the hair loss or whatever. And I think a lot of the guys that I've spoken to just seem to get the confidence back with it. Because even if it stops where it is now, it'll be okay. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. You've got a haircut that works.
Yeah, that's another thing. Does it stop it or does it grow it back?
One stops it, one regrows it, essentially, right? The pill usually is better because it's coming from the inside out, right? It's getting into the bloodstream and things like that. It's obviously a better way to do it. Yeah. But you can still get incredible effects from doing the topical. Yeah. Okay. You know what I mean? So I think if you're unsure, do obviously speak to Manuel. Do fill out your online form. Speak to one of the clinicians. Yeah. Okay. And then just find out what works better for you. Yeah. Based on all the things. Because the beauty of it all is, right, I've met a lot of the guys who are like the hair clinicians, the specialists from Manuel. Yeah. And they'll tell you the good and the bad. They're not just going to say, oh, this is the benefit. See you later. Yeah. Come and use us. It's like, no, these can be the case. This worst case scenario, this could happen. Yeah. And and vice versa. And that's what I like about it. It's not just about like selling you something. You know what I mean? Yeah. The reason why we teamed up, because like I'd heard of them for years. Yeah. I'd even looked at doing I'd even started taking the hair vitamins at one point. You see, so like I knew about them before we kind of started working together. Yeah. And yeah, I thought their ethos was great. I loved how. What I loved was how thorough they were on that consultation.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I'll definitely check it out, because I'm definitely keen, after you've obviously spoke to me about the different treatment options, to check them out. Definitely. Just kind of explore the options a bit more, really, because I feel like the information I had before was quite limited. So yeah, I think that'll be really good.
I feel like do you know what? I feel like where you're at now, you're at a really good place that you could have a big difference, and I think that would really help, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think for you not to try it would be such a shame to see what you could actually achieve.
It's true, because like I said before, I'm open to trying new things, both hairstyle wise and treatment wise, so I think it's a good idea.
Definitely. So any of your friends experiencing a similar thing to yourself?
Not really, to be honest. Just me. I don't know many people at this age, that's the thing, because I'm still pretty young overall. Yeah. I think it's more on the rarer side, so not got too many peers to kind of compare with or anything in that sense.
Yeah, well, if you look at the guys who came on our channel, mate, a lot of them are very young. The majority of them were young. Yeah. And that wasn't Liam handpicking younger people. It was just just got an overload, wasn't it? A lot of younger guys,
I think there's a range of different hair losses that are happening.
100%. It varies, doesn't it? Yeah, of course, from individual to individual. Yeah, some had, some were almost like, pretty much to the end of it, really, in terms of hairline or crown or whatever. Others a bit like yourself, where it was just starting to go, where you could intervene, you know what I mean? Exactly. One of the good things about the channel, about like the series on the channel, is that we address something that people don't really want to talk about. Yeah. And the fact that you and or the 12, like 11 other guys who came on, like, you know, kind of really opened up about it, which I think has really helped a lot of people, because, you know, it could be a very lonely place to be. If you're the only one at your friend group and you're the, you know what I mean, you've got no one to talk to because you feel like you're weak, or you feel like it's a pathetic thing to talk about and whatnot. It can be something that is not easily addressed, and it's not a nice thing, you know, it's what people can go through.
Yeah, it's really true, because even before this series was around, I've been watching YouTube haircut videos for a while, and I didn't really see anything like this series.
Yeah.
You know, where someone has a lot of experience like yourself and they talk about it in depth.
Yeah.
You know, before you just see kind of, it might be a short haircut transformation, but they're never actually explaining it like you do in your videos.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, really, really, really good.
Nice, man. Yeah,
and it's really helpful for kind of people out there watching as well, who might not be able to come into the studio, but they can just watch the videos online and get the information through that way.
Definitely. I'm just working on the fade now, so just stretching that blend right up and off. So that will help with the front hairline. It'll build up the weight towards the top, which will ultimately give a much more nicer blend into that top bit as well.
So since I'm the last person on the series, are you planning to do a second series, or what's the plan with that?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
Who knows? Who knows? I'd love to. I think, I mean, would everybody watching like to have a second series? Would you like us to try and do it all over again? If you would, let me know in the comments, because that'd be good to know. I'd love to do another one. I really would. I thought this was so much fun. From a professional and a personal standpoint, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of sad when Liam was like, yeah, it's our last one today. I was like, oh man, because it's fun. I mean, I love the other bits as well, but this is just so different. Like, you know what I mean? It's very different. And I feel like we're doing something that's really, you know, helping people out. You know, otherwise we're just doing haircuts. We're just doing free haircuts for people, aren't we? You know what I mean? Realistically, and explaining it.
Yeah.
But at least, you know, when we do that series, it's like we're really helping people, you know what I mean? Like, you might not know much about it, or might feel a bit alone or whatever, a bit lost, you know?
Definitely, and it's good that you're kind of so open with it in your videos, well, in this series anyway, so that's really nice.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I'm just really thankful that people can be watching it and they might not have peers that are going through the same thing, or they might not have much information, and it's just really good that you're kind of sharing that.
100%, man. I'm glad you feel that way, because that's what we wanted everyone to feel, you know what I mean? There's no ego on our side about it, you know what I mean? That's all. It was more just like, what can we do? This will be really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see if we can help everybody out, you know?
Yeah. What products do you recommend as well for hair loss in terms of styling?
Styling.
Yeah.
So, tough one this, because everybody thins and recedes differently.
Yeah.
But across the board, I'd recommend base products to start with. So I'd recommend blow drying products in.
Yep.
Because what you're doing there is the heat is swelling the hair strand.
Yeah.
And then what that's doing is adding thickness to it, right?
Okay, yeah.
So finding a product that will give you a bit of volume will always help as well. And then in terms of styling, I would always go down the matte route.
Okay.
So like the clays, some powders, not every powder.
Yeah.
Find one that gives you a bit more dryness than a sort of slightly more separated look. That's what I'd always suggest. But yeah, no, I mean, essentially just things that are matte finished. Yeah. Because in that way, when you've got a matte finish, it creates a drier texture, which basically clumps everything together in a good way, not in a separated way.
Yeah, because what I was trying before is I was putting this sea salt spray in my hair, so I was putting that in, then I was blow drying it, and then I was putting a bit of hairspray on. But kind of over the day, it kind of started to kind of droop down a bit after a while. So maybe using like a clay or something instead might work.
I mean, a salt spray essentially, right, will dry out the hair. Yeah. Right. It gives you like a dry effect.
Yeah.
Now, that can be nice for the texture, But when you've got a bit of thinning, it doesn't really, you want it to not look dry.
Yeah.
You want it to look nice and full and healthy, you know? So again, salt sprays are a fantastic product, don't get me wrong, but they're not the product probably for what you need them for, if you know what I mean. I feel like you might need something that is a bit more, again, like a lotion or, you know, something along the lines of that would probably be a better one for you.
Okay.
Right, so finishing touch, crown, pull this back. So what we do, we leave the crown longer. So we pull this over and we connect in, we connect in, we connect in, and we pick it up just across the crown because it will fall nicely, and we cut in. And that, my friend, is done. Okay, so let me start out for you now and show you how you work it. All right, a little bit of clay.
Yep.
So about a pea size amount of that.
Okay.
Okay, into your hands, work it through, warm it up.
Yep.
And then what we do is we apply it from the crown, up like that, flatten this fringe down like that first, pick it up, and then bring it all the way down. And this is where we start to really bring it all together. So through the crown, through the sides to bring out that shape and texture, and then we move your fringe about until it looks nice and choppy. And that's pretty much it, mate. Pick these bits up, flatten them down, and that's what creates the movement and the texture at the back. And then all we do is just fine tune it. So we've rubbed the clay in, and then we're just picking bits out to make it look more textured and more messy. And if you want to be really picky, you can get a comb and you can use the tail, the tooth of the comb there to bring bits out. Yeah. If you want to. I don't think you generally have to, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, mate, so I can't help it. Right, so what I'll do, I'll take the gown off you. Yep. I'll give you your glasses, and you can tell me at the end. Cool. All right? All right. Cool. Yep. So I want you to hold this mirror. I want you to look at yourself in this mirror here. Look straight on to that to see yourself in the back mirror there. So there's the fade, but look at the hairline from the front.
It looks so much more kind of cleared up and not as thin. Like
not
when
as
I'm
thin,
looking at it,
Look at this side as well, okay? So look through there, see yourself there in the front. Look at the front.
Yeah, wow, it looks,
you know what I mean?
It just looks so much kind of thicker as well.
Yeah. And then when you look straight on, I'll take this off you a second. Yeah. Look straight on.
Yeah, I can just see through it so much less
look
as well.
From the top there as well, if you lean your head back slightly so you can see. Oh, yeah. There we go, look.
Yeah, there's so much less gap before you go though. I can see strands and strands and strands.
That looks really healthy, and just like a short fringe.
Wow, yeah. No, I'm really, really happy with that. Thank you so much. Yeah,
amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
What a transformation.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Wow, yeah.
Were you expecting it to be a bit different? Or?
I didn't know what to expect. Like, I kind of just handed the reins over to you. You're the professional at the end of the day.
Well, you'll see the before and after, and you'll notice it. You'll see a big difference just by putting in that fullness and the structure. Because before it was like here, but it was like the thickness was where that bit is now.
It was like really, really strandy as it got down here. So,
and that just looks a lot more built in.
Definitely.
Nice, isn't it?
Ooh.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So guys, thank you for watching our final episode of Series 1 of Talking Hair Loss. You can catch all the other episodes here. Along the side here, you can also catch our other videos that we do on the channel normally. But don't forget to subscribe and to comment and let us know if you want to see Season 2.